Welcome to another edition of Devongunsmith Diaries, and today we have a particularly fine antique fowling piece in 12 bore. It's a shotgun, percussion shotgun by Isaac Hollis and Sons of Birmingham. Now interestingly, these in good condition in 2023 will sell between 2,000 and 3,500 because of their antique value. This one is in for some conservation. As you can probably see, there's some early stages of rust on the Damascus barrel. There's ingrained dirt on the stock. We want to conserve but not remove the patina, so there's some nice details there. It's got some copper browning on there, and yeah, an exceptionally nice piece. So let's get into it. If you enjoy the content, don't forget, like, subscribe and click the notification bell. Okay, so first things first, we need to clean out the years of dirt from the top. Oh, it came undone. Oh, that was exciting. I didn't think that was going to happen. This is one of the things with working on camera. You just don't know what's going to happen, frankly. Each job you have to take as it is, and you just haven't a clue what you're going to hit. And this is a very sharp edge here, so you've got to be very careful. That came out quite cleanly. Fair enough. Now, obviously, right here is where the camera is, so I'm working with the camera in my way. See if I can sit down. Yeah, I can, just about. Sometimes the hands are going to be in the way, I'm afraid, guys. Right, I think we're there. Although may not be able to get it out that easily. Yeah, it will come, it's just stiff. It's there or thereabouts. Let's see if I can. No, it doesn't want to come out just yet. It's nerve-wracking doing it in front of the camera, I'm not going to lie. Sorry about the hands, guys. And it doesn't seem to matter how much light you put on a subject, it seems to be never enough. Right, that might be enough to take that lock off now, maybe. Yep, there you go. Oh, look at that. That's in good nick. Wow. That is really nice. Right, so that can retain for a mile. I'm not worried, not for a while. Just make sure we've got, just check, scouring stick. Oh, that's tight. Okay, good. Let's come out. Right, sometimes you'll find a, oh, that's a nice one. Okay, that's a soldered understock. That's a half stock. That I thought was a stock, is actually a bottom rib, if you will. Beautiful. Scouring stick's in good shape as well, as far as I can see. Put that to one side. Right, let's see what we're doing here. Very gently. Very gently. There we go. So, this is why the bottom of a modern shotgun, the catch is called a loop, because they were originally loops. It'll take a second. I might have to just free this off camera. Okay, we're pulling the pin out. There you go. Just drops out. Right, so they have this nice little hook system on a lot of the old antiques. So that's the barrel off, and that's the stock. And look at how nicely it's figured. It's beautiful, really is nice. So we're going to put the stock aside for a minute. That will need some light cleaning, and everything has to be done very carefully and gently. Fortunately, this is an extremely good quality piece. So that's going into one of my white boxes, and so with the locks or the stirring pin, the top pin, all of those things. We're going to work on the barrel for starters. Okay, so that's going to be put away now. So things we'll be using: kitchen roll, believe it or not, that's enough sometimes, and 5/0 wire wool. Right, you don't need a lot of wire wool, but we will start with a little bit. When I say a feather touch, I mean a feather-light touch on this beautiful piece. Now, I will probably use a light gun oil with this, because all I want to do is very, 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 very lightly card off that nasty rust that's just starting to form. Now, okay, so we're not going to do any more to this. We're going to leave it a day or two in the tray. I'm going to see if any more rust develops before I continue. Traditionally, a browning finish would be coated in linseed oil, and we will probably continue with that tradition. It's a lot better than it was anyway, and we've stabilised it. It's a conservation, guys, not a full restoration. We want it to actually keep its age in this case. Fresh, clean piece, 5/0 wire wool. This is French Polisher's wire wool. I'm not touching the face outside of the lock. It is impeccable. I will give that a light oiling. Other than that, I don't think we need to interfere, because that seems to remain in perfect working order. Yeah, it does. So I'm not going to mess with that. That's half cock. That's full cock, obviously. And as you can see, the spring comes fully down when it's fired. I'm just going to oil that. Put that to one side for a moment. Just want to inspect that there's not been any cracks or breaks. There looks like there might have been a repair there. I don't know whether you can see that. That looks like it might have had a repair, which is what I was thinking earlier. Now with French Polisher's wire wool, I can burnish this lightly. Yeah, I can feel it. There's a repair there. That's fine. I expected something like that somewhere along the line. You can see I pull off a little bit of what possibly is shellac or possibly oil finish. Shellac was used a fair bit, so we can justifiably use that again. I'm just going to put a sealing coat on that and then a light coat of linseed. I am not going to polish up this beyond giving it a clean with some kitchen roll. It's not my brief, other than to clean off the surfaces. I'm not looking to make it look like a new reproduction piece from India. We want it to remain looking exactly like it is, which is the real thing. So that's ready to seal and oil. Right, this is a little bit more of a situation going on here. There's this build-up of either dirty wax or grime from hands. Got to go into this. You can see there's all kinds of marks. We're not going to touch those on this occasion. Normally my customers would be asking me to get rid of that. But I'm going to just lightly, with this clean piece of wire wool, just burnish it off so that it will take a coat of oil and nothing more. Again, I could be doing it with one thing. I need the overall drag. This won't be shellacked either. It's just a maintenance coat of oil. Now, all of a sudden, look how much better that looks. There are spots that are a bit dull. That's to be expected. What I'm doing is knocking off all that grease, all those sort of greasy marks, and it picks up, as you can see. So nothing more. Nothing a little drop of oil won't fix. It's not my intention to remove any of the grime. All I want to do in this case is just get that dirt a little bit removed. Don't remove the patination at all. As you can see, there's a slight dulling there. I'm not going to wire wool the back of this very much, just a light oil, because it's got a lovely colour case hardening. And same here. I will just continue doing this, and you'll have a nice little musical interlude. needs some further hand burnished coats. I need to remove the excess, probably with a bit of kitchen roll, which I'll do now. Some of you may be going, hang on Paul, you didn't take the lock apart like you usually do. It's in perfectly fine fettle, just needs a film of oil over it to protect it. I will remove the excess oil shortly. This is still a little bit grimy. As you see, the linseed oil will actually clean if you're careful. And you can see there's a little bit of grime coming off that still. So I actually used the products that have been used for centuries. There you go, a little bit of dirt there. To maintain what is there already. So if there was a chemical analysis on this gun, it would actually be the same as it always was. So I'll just start with a clean side. Let's just see how much dirt I can pull off this just from removing the excess oil on the forend. See? So you can actually clean using oil. Like the linseed will be perfectly good as a cleaning agent. I dislodged a little bit of that surface dirt with oil with the 5.0 wire wool, and I don't know if the camera can, oh yeah, I think the camera can see what I can see. You can see there's a little bit of patination there. We want to maintain that, we don't want to hide that. You can see there's some little striations and stuff in there. You can certainly see the grain there, nicely coming through. All those beaten up marks, pure. That's not distressing, that's the real deal. And you can see here, if I can get the angle of the right, this is a beautiful grain there as well. So this is needed less to bring it back up to its own beauty than I expected if I'm going to be frank. So that's a pleasant surprise. This is cleaned up lovely. You can see the grain there if I can get the angle correct for you. Well, there's a bit. There's the repair. Oh, hang on a minute. Let me just get me for focus. You see there's a repair there, but there's also a nice grain running through there. And that is because the grain was running through the scouring stick, or ramrod, some people call it. I've not changed the colours. You see there's still marks where the ball has been bashed against the ramrod. I call it scouring sticks because they do scour the barrels as well with them. And in the Civil War they called them scouring sticks. That's on record. This is obviously a Victorian piece. So I can actually get a little bit of shine on that. Just with a little bit of olive oil. No, linseed oil. You could use olive oil if you were stuck. You can't get hold of linseed, but yeah, there's a little bit of oil, not excessive amounts. I'm using it mainly to lift out the dirt, and I don't want to take it apart because if it's not broke, don't fix it. I see so many people causing work for themselves by simply messing with guns that didn't need messing with. Again, just a little bit of linseed in there. We don't want to remove the age. Just want it to be clean. I'm going to put a little, just going to strike my file through there probably, or fingernail even will do. Just to get some oil down in there. Again, it's not my job to clean this up. We want it to remain the way it is. You will notice that I did get some oil. I didn't remove this deliberately because it's actually so well fitted. I don't want to mess with it. And as the job became clearly quite easy, I wasn't wishing to interfere too much. So this is basically, for the first time in a long time, it's surface cleaning only. I don't have to do a deep dive on this one to give it a good clean. And I will put a 12 bore brush down the barrel and mop the barrel with some linseed oil inside so that preserves it. But that's basically it. Quite surprisingly, how much easier that was to clean. Oh, look, there's the grain, you can see it. And there's a slight build-up of patination. On old Gibson electric guitars, they spray black around there to create that effect. That's the real deal there, right there. Or I don't know whether you can tell by my voice, but this is absolute pure pleasure. And the exploratory push will be with a standard brush, just to make sure there's no fouling. So I've got a nice new brush. So there's my jag. That's on one rod, clean rod. That's my filthy old trusty brush on a different rod. Different threads, so you can't use them on the same rods. This is obviously a mop. My brand new brush won't fit on either of them, because everybody now makes proprietary threads. So back to the old faithful, I guess. I'm not sure that it's going to be very good TV, because it's hard to do on the filming, but nonetheless, sorry about knocking the camera. A few drops of gun oil down there, light gun oil. Ah, yeah, we may be able to. You might be lucky. There you go. Yeah, it's everything's in the way of everything else. That's the trouble. Right, so I will show you how you check. Well, how they would check to make sure they were running clear. Right, yeah, that's okay. A bit more oil on there. This is just the same as you'd ever do. They're not actually bad. They're not too bad at all. I'm actually quite pleased with that. Right, so let's see what the state of play is. Yeah, it's dirt. Right, I'm not in the... Normally I would run boiling water down these if they were being used to make sure there's no black powder in them. This is a conservation job. I will make sure that it's clear. I will show you how that's done. It's running through, as it's run through the nipple, and the percussion nipple, it's run through, so that's fine. And if you care to be absolutely disgusting, you blow the barrel and the oil comes out the other end. And how, depending on how clean it is, indicates how much work you've got to do. Well, my customer's granddad obviously took good care of this gun, because it's come through clean. Very pleasing. Nice to report that he's going to have a absolutely fantastic gun. I will just run that dirty looking mop through to ensure that we've got a clean job. I can't remember if this is the rod that this one fits on. I think it is. Yes, it is. So you go back to good old faithful. Right, I will not use the jag because there's a high risk of leaving the the cleaning. I would use 4x2 if I had any. Don't think I can find any right now, so I'm just going to push the mop through to ensure there's a good coating of oil. Yeah, that's running freely. There's no friction there, so that's good. The extension on. Okay, that was funny. Right, so all the way to the bottom. Oh yeah, that's perfectly smooth. I don't have the space here, unfortunately, off camera, because my camera's mounted on a gimbal. Oh, there's a little bit of dirt there, look. That's going all the way to the bottom. There's nothing in there. It's probably the dirt that was on the mop in the first place, weirdly. Now I'm going to risk it for a biscuit, because if I put a small amount of this in, a 4x2, what they call traditionally 4x2, would be the best to put on this. But using the same premise before that I've had before, and people criticise this, it's like, oh well, I wouldn't do it like that way. Well, this was the conception of the channel was based on what would you do in a lockdown situation when you don't have access to any workshops, and that's precisely what this channel was based about. And I'm not going to change, because I think it's actually a good premise. There's no point me having lots of proprietary tooling. Yeah, that's going in beautifully. It's all right, it's gone off camera, beg your pardon. I'll move the camera, there you go. The trolley that the camera's attached to with an overhead gimbal is the thing I'm trying not to bash into. Right, that is dirt, which I believe has come from my original I believe that's come from my original dirty mop. Right, so I'm just going to fold this back over tightly. I'm going to turn it the way that the thread turns so that I can get it out again. Right, so you rotate in a clockwise action while you pull it out, maintaining the tightness very carefully, pulling that out. At this point, some troll will go, oh, you should have a bush there. Well, the bush won't stay with it, it'll come up, it'll travel up, won't it? And this is aluminium, so it won't do any harm. I get fed up of explaining things sometimes. I'm a bit testy today, in case you hadn't noticed. I shouldn't be. As we speak, the channel is almost to 1,000 subscribers. I think it's 997 or something. Those last three just won't come. Right, okay, there you go. Just pulling out that extra dirt. At this point, I'm only trying to pull out dirt. Like I said before, I would boil wash these barrels if they were in active service. It goes all the way down with no resistance. Yeah, not too bad at all. You get a drop of linseed oil. Ooh, too much. Go on a bit far there. the problem. Trying to do things with a camera right under my nose, never a great idea. And wipe up the excess with. The said dirty rag doesn't come in contact with the guns unless I'm in readiness for finishing. This is linseed oil. If you go on YouTube and look up Williamsburg gunsmith, you'll see a reenactment of all of this. I'll put a link in the section below. Right, that's gliding now because it's full of oil. There we go. No additional dirt. A film of oil in the barrel. Linseed, which does gel up a little bit, but it will prevent it from rusting inside. A clean piece of kitchen roll. 3 pieces of tissue paper. Toilet paper will do as well. Same thing. Again, clockwise. Right, dirty hands, greasy cloths. Need something to hold that with. There you go. Right. Well, there's no friction in there now. It's well oiled. I can feel that. Sorry, it keeps disappearing off camera. And it is slightly rusty, but it's not by any means too bad at all. Turn it round to the other side. Now obviously turning anti-clockwise to keep that cloth tight and the jag tight from undoing. Oh, friction. There you go. Yeah, we're good. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to need to clean up. Put the linseed away. That's done its job for now. And those barrels, I need to leave them another day really to check that they're not further marking up. I don't think they are though. No, they're not. I'm not going to, there's a few little scabs. I am not going to go far because I'd end up digging in. And you can see, look how clean that is. Look at those lovely marks. So there's a few little pitting marks and stuff, but it's an antique, but it's just to show off that beautiful Damascus barrel. Wonderful. So I will put some linseed on that now. A bit more control than I did earlier. Just to put a sealing coat of a sympathetic vegetable oil. It's contemporaneous with its period. You can in a pinch use mineral oils too. But this is a non-invasive method and it's contemporaneous with the era. The idea being that I don't want to, in this case, use any modern materials or things. Look at that, no rust. So we know we're good. Lovely. What a beautiful piece. Yeah, that's fine. So now to reassemble. Bit of a clean up and wipe down. Well, this job has gone really well. So my hands are clean. I just don't want any jelly-like coatings of linseed left over. It's simply a very fine film. Okay, so let's see if I can pull out the zoom. There you go. Loads of stuff on the bench again, as is usual. So let's see what we have here. One nice clean stock. One nice ramrod or scouring stick. Lock. Top pin. And beautiful Damascus barrels. So just take off any excess, if there is any. No, not really. I'm just checking. This gun will be with me a day or two more, and I will burnish by hand the stock, but I might as well assemble it right now, as everything is in order. So, pin. Push the pin out. No, doesn't want to do it. It's a good fit. After all these years, it's a good fit. I could do with putting a little drop of oil on that really too. Okay, so as you can see, it's got a nice little interlock there. And the barrel loop goes in there, a little bit of a wiggle, trying to do it on camera. There you go, beautifully. Right, that's essentially together now. It's that simple with these beautiful little guns. Okay, I need to just pull out this if I can. It's still a little bit. Or do I need to? No, I don't. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, Paul. What I'm going to do is just put a drop of oil on that. Make sure it goes back, the lock goes back in nicely. Trigger forward. Oh, that drops in. These old boys knew what they were doing, I'm telling you. They really did. Oh, there's a bit of slack. That shouldn't actually be like that, but we leave it as it is. It should be. Over the years, it's expanded, it's tightened up on the lock. There's a bit of movement in that lock there. If it gets tightened, it does a half turn, and you see what happens there. It rises out. So that's how it was there. Let's bring that to rest on there. Beautiful, beautiful. Again, I'm just going to, for the sake of it, put a drop of oil, drop more oil, should I say, on there. Just to pop that back in. There is a tiny bit of dirt. No, it's okay. It's all good. I thought there was. I need to improve the lighting in here. One of my neighbours is a professional photographer. He said, it's all about the lighting, Paul. I'm like, yeah, mate, I know, but, you know, everything else needs to be done too. There we go. That's in flush. Beautifully done. Scouring stick in. This has been a pure pleasure, this gun. It's such a shame we don't get more of these. If there was more of them, they wouldn't be as rare as they are. There we go, guys. It's still a little bit slick at this point. I will continue to burnish and clean it off camera after the video. So don't forget, there's only 3 of you needed to make it go to 1,000 on the channel. So like and subscribe, guys. Thanks.